Standing on the site of the ancient Carian city of Myndos, the charming village and harbour of Gumusluk in southwest Turkey is one of the oldest settlements on the Bodrum Peninsula, the place to where, in 44 BC, Brutus and Cassius fled after murdering the Emperor Caesar. The countryside surrounding modern-day Gumusluk is rich with architectural remains and early artefacts, with a survey in 2004 indicating an acropolis measuring approximately 2 square kilometres encircling the city walls. This particular tomb, with 3 rock-cut sarcophagi and 2 small altar platforms on either side of its entrance, is said to be rare on the Bodrum Peninsula. Entrance to the harbour is guarded by Rabbit Island, and in the early days of the settlement, a chain would have been hauled across from here to the mainland in order to provide protection against unwelcome visitors approaching from the sea. Excavation of the island started in 2009, initially to examine what was presumed to be a medieval fort on the summit, and to investigate the lower terrace where pieces of monumental masonry were visible on the surface. 4 years later, archaeologists had uncovered the remains of a basilica with 3 aisles dating from the 5th century, burial chambers, water cistern, a possible kitchen area, and items associated with Christian pilgrimages, all of which suggests that once there may have been a monastery or Christian community on the island. An inscription from the second half of the 1st century suggested it may also have housed a sanctuary dedicated to Apollo as the founder and patron of the city. During the Hellenistic period, the king of Halicarnassus built a causeway to the island so that he could feed the rabbits living there and wonder at the beauty of the setting sun. Today the island is officially closed to the public, it is still possible to walk there across ancient city walls hidden just below the water's surface. Just outside the village is a site reported to be that of the city stadium, a line of 52 columns, at least 7 of them still in situ, leading there from the Western Harbour. It is here that a boy pentathlete from the Greek island of Kos is reported to have won a stadion, or sprint, and whilst there are no specific dates for his success, an inscription dated circa AD 5 lists the same athlete as having won the event as an adult. Stone from which the columns have been cut appears similar to that used in other structures associated with the ancient city, and is most likely to be from the quarries at Coen Barber, whilst the remains of a nearby church, sometimes referred to as the villa, has marble of first-class workmanship taken from an earlier temple incorporated into its structure. No ancient city would be complete without its baths, and Myndos was no exception, with archaeologists estimating its external dimensions as being 38 metres long, 12 metres wide, and with a 9 metre high vaulted roof. Part of the aspidal north centre of the baths remains intact today, and there are fragments of marble slabs and waterproof mortar lining some of the low walls, and although no specific date has been suggested for the construction of the baths, the discovery of a fragment of Byzantine pottery with a cross motif suggests it was probably still in use during this period. Heading out towards the Western Harbour, a concave structure on the hillside has been identified as probably being that of a large theatre, believed to date from the 4th century BC. Constructed on top of a natural outcrop of bedrock, the Temple of Dionysus is thought to date from around 350 BC, with later excavations uncovering a more recent building with a mosaic floor, believed to date back to the 5th or 6th century AD. Close by are the remains of a temple experts believe may have been dedicated to Poseidon, one of the 12 Olympian deities of the pantheon in Greek mythology, and often referred to as the god of the sea. The Western Harbour is believed to be a later addition to the city, dating back to the 1st century, with features forming part of the harbour remaining visible today, just below the waterline. During excavations conducted back in 2006, archaeologists discovered foundations of various buildings and a piped water supply, leading them to believe that a considerable section of the ancient city of Myndos still remains buried beneath the ground. Sadly, until now at least, further excavation of the area has proved impossible, most of it lying on privately owned land. But who knows what the future might reveal.